Please do not adjust your television. Yep, I got the old 29LTD side mic, belly up. She needs a little bit of work, little TLC. This is an old Bill Good tuned radio from back in the 90s. It's been a great radio, but I think she needs a little bit of work. And Greg over at Mountaintop asked how I did my VFO windup in this. So I will show you that really quickly. So if you try to find a schematic or a service manual for these, they have, different variations of it. And even though the layout is pretty much the same, the silk screening is different. So I want to just physically show you here on the radio itself. I was going to do it on the schematic, but I think this will be the easiest. Okay, so we're over here in the crystal oscillator section. This is your 10.240 crystal right here. And we're going to go on the banded side of D18, cathode side of D18 to ground. Okay, and I'm using a 220 microfarad capacitor. Like 10 volts, 10 or 16 volts will work. I think this is a 10 volt cap. And that's it. That's easy. So remember, ground, or the banded side of the capacitor to ground. The other leg, or the positive leg, goes to the banded side of D18. I've seen these marked as D18, D16, I believe, and a D17, and they're all just kind of, it just, like I say, it just depends on the silk screening. All right, so I have the Cobra 2000 setup up there on AM. Now you have to, so this is not a noise toy per se. I just want to clarify that right now. This is really not a noise toy. This is to replicate the old transmitters from back in the day, some of the old tube transmitters that were fairly unstable. And what would happen is when they would key up, they would drift back up to frequency. Now, I've had radios with bad crystals do this, with walkie-talkies and stuff like that. So basically, we're just kind of trying to replicate that. You don't hear, so if nobody is on the channel, there's no signal behind you or anything like that. It's just a two-way conversation. The person you're going to be talking to is not going to hear this. What this needs to have a carrier or some sort of a signal in the background. And then when you key this radio up, you will actually hear the radio sliding. So I'm going to throw a dead key with the President Randy here. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. So I'm going to key the Randy. It's Randy. And maybe I'll do it this way. Maybe this will work better. Okay. So here we go. So I have the Randy keyed. We've got signal here. And that's how you do it. That's how it sounds anyway. Okay, now if I don't have a signal in the background, then here's what that will sound like. Nothing. All right, let me turn my mic gain down. Yeah, mic gain was up. Okay. So there you go. Here's what it'll sound like on sideband. Okay. You can turn it off with the Delta Tune. So the Delta Tune is already counterclockwise to get that wind-up sound. Now I'll put the Delta Tune in the middle. Slight frequency shift. Okay, now we're going to go to Delta Tune all the way clockwise at the other direction, and it'll wind up in the opposite direction. Okay. Let's go back to AM real quick, throw another carrier with the walkie-talkie, see if we can do this. Okay, we'll go the other way. And that works out pretty good like that. Then if you want to turn it off, which I like, you don't always need to have that if you don't want to. And it's really not even noticeable. So anyway, there you go, Greg. 220 microfarad off D18 marked on this radio to ground, and you are good to go.